Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Exec Member for Culture, Leisure and Communities decision session. It's Tuesday, the 4th of October, and it's 10 a.m. and we're here in West Offices. Item 1 is declarations of interest. Beyond my register of interests, looking at the agenda today, I don't have any additional interest to declare. Item 2 is approval of the minutes of the decision session held on the 6th of September 2022 in this very room. Haven't read the minutes, and yeah, very happy to sign them. Would you like me to sign them? No, the meeting was very well reported. Yes, thank you very much. Item 3 is public participation. We've had no members of the public register to speak for today's meeting, and we've had no written submissions either. And so we move on to the main item of business, which is item 4, the York Learning Strategic Plan 2022 to 23 on pages 5 to 24. And I'll hand straight over to Angie.
Thank you. That's great. So basically the process today is about our governance. It's to help show that we have that scrutiny around what we do. And the strategic plan is what we're hoping to do this year and how it's going to cover what we need to do to meet the new strategic directions that we want to go in, which got approved last year with the new strategy, working jointly with North Yorkshire. So I'm going to hand over to Paul here now. You might want to comment further.
Yes, thank you very much. So the strategic plan now flows directly from the adult learning and skills engagement strategy that was approved via consultation in July, is now going through the final stages of a publishable version. So I's dotted, T's crossed and stylized, that will appear both on our website and the North Yorkshire website as well. What it's key to do is to help us navigate the waters over the next few years as we head towards potential devolution of the budget that manages our funding. What is very clear is there needs to be a closer alignment between our outcomes and the skills needs of the region. But that needs to be balanced about how we get people to that position. So the strategic plan starts to set out how we start to adjust what we do and we do successfully, but also looks to widen the demographic of those that we are engaging with to enable us to move more people close to sustainable, better wage economy, better skills match in terms of what people need, but equally not losing sight of the vital proportion of community learning that we have in terms of that importance in terms of individuals' health and well-being and individual participation as well. So that's realistically the first aspect of the strategic plan. The other aspect that we were lucky enough to secure further funding at authority level, so not just ourselves in York Learning, was the government's multiply initiative to engage those people who are not comfortable in the use of maths. The official definition being those that don't have a maths qualification, but sometimes there is a difference between somebody having a qualification and being able to use the maths. But what that enables us to do is also provide some softer level engagement opportunities in terms of the work that we do. Although we won't deliver all of that multiply initiative because it's to engage a variety of partners, a significant proportion of it will capitalise on our position within the local authority and the community groups that we have links with, that reach out into the community that we have in order to be able to let those multiply initiatives have the greatest level of impact. So realistically, the strategic plan sets that direction for widening and broadening our engagement, looking to achieve better skills, more confidence, more individuals who are able to access our learning so that they can get the maximum benefit from it. Just got anything else to
I was just
add
going to say the strategic plan particularly tries to meet the different aims of the council where we can. So how we help support the council to a better start for children and young people, for example, is the family learning offer, the Route 16 to 18 offer, and their positive outcomes, and the high needs programs, and so on. So the report's designed like that. And then the key areas of focus in section 2 are more around our personal strategic aims with the new strategy that Paul has just talked about, and how we're going to meet that to make that happen.
Thank you ever so much. Sorry, Paul and Angie. And like you say, it's great to see it sort of laid out in the council plan, because there's not really an area that the council tries to improve that doesn't involve Algebra education and York learning in some way. Just on the ESOL, on page 12, obviously picking up the new course in Ukrainian language and culture. It's just really to ask how that's going.
Okay, that's that's been a slow start, to be honest with you. But we think that's because we were told people wanted to do it in the summer, but realistically, most people don't want to do learning in the summer. They want to do it in the autumn. So Bianca's refreshing it now to do that. And it's all about supporting the host families to understand Ukrainian language, to better integrate with their Ukrainian guest.
That's brilliant. Thank you ever so much. And I know just on the number of learners picking up and how I guess that's impacting the service, obviously a double-edged sword, in that that's a positive thing that more people are engaging, but how that's affecting delivery.
It's a challenge. That we've done really well up to now, but I think I'll need to review management hours to better support the manager with the additional classes that are happening, because with every class, obviously there's a new quality structure that is part of the quality structure, and there's all those infrastructure needs that need to go with it. It's not only about putting a class on and putting a tutor in, it's about supporting it properly and making sure it's of good quality. And the manager has to make sure that is, and then it's finding new tutors to take in the new intake and so on. So that's quite heavy and intensive for her. So I need to relook at that and see whether we need a lead tutor post maybe to better support her with that. And I think that's the existing pressure really at the moment with that.
Thank you ever so much. Is there anything you wanted to add further? I know we've been joined virtually by Pauline Stutchfield, Director of Customers and Communities. Was there anything you wanted to add, Pauline? Or?
Yes, Chair, thank you very much. I wholeheartedly support the plan in achieving the council and community priorities for York. What isn't here explicitly is the huge amount of partnership working that the service undertake, whether that's working with hubs and local area coordinators, the digital inclusion partnership, and the Our City Hub. I know you just mentioned Bianca there and her work, also with internal CYC staff in terms of their well-being and development, and the further and higher education establishments in the city. And that's a huge amount of work that also goes on. And they're always conscious of the financial position that residents are in, particularly those with multi-complex needs, and they try and reflect this in the offer wherever they can. Clearly, the plan highlights risks around funding, the replacement of European funding, and a shift away, potentially away from funding the community-based offers going forward, particularly the arts and crafts, cultural elements of the plan, and some of the things that help to address isolation, health and well-being, financial and digital exclusion, and developing skills for those that excel in these areas. And I think there's a mention in the plan particularly of where people go on into those fields, into employment and self-employment. So clearly a strong part of our offer which may be at risk. And just a final comment really about everyone involved in the service has a fantastic level of enthusiasm, and everybody I've met is an absolute joy to interact and work with. So thank you for letting me comment, Chair.
Thank you very much, Pauline, and can certainly second the last point of what you just said in terms of the York Learning team. With that, I don't have any other comments or questions on the report or annexes, and so I am happy to approve the recommendations as set out on page 4, I believe, 5, paragraph 2, and approve the attached strategic and service plan for York Learning. So with that, I think that brings item 4 to a close. Item 5 is any other business. I don't have any other business, and hopefully nobody else does. And so thank you for everyone's time today facilitating this meeting, and have a good rest of the